Yes, yes. You know what? You might, I don't know if you'll agree with me, but I'm loving the jersey, man. I just really, the more I see it, I really, really love this jersey. I mean, that orange on blue, literally, they've done a very good addition, man. That orange.
But it is one of the most controversial jerseys around.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Bro, I think you know it.
No, 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 no. That's not the reason why I'm talking about. I know what you're saying. Uh, no, see. Firstly, you need to understand that I'm a designer. Okay, I look at everything in a designer's lens. I don't care about what politics or whatever is there behind it and all. Anyway, see, as a designer, this is a great choice. Let me tell you why. Because this orange and that blue, definitely there is a very, very proper relationship between both of them.
Okay.
Okay, this is actually called as color harmony. Okay, I'll explain, but do one thing. Google for that India team's jersey.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
go
got
to that. So take a screenshot. Go back to Figma. So pull that. Okay. So the jersey is there, no?
Yeah.
Okay. Identify these colors. Okay. Take those make those rectangles. Yeah. Put that orange. And put a blue.
Blue. Yeah.
Put that blue, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if you look at this, see, firstly for the naked eye,
Huh.
do you think there is a relationship between these two?
I don't. I think they both look good together.
They,
That's
they-
one
they-
thing.
Definitely, they both look good together,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Yeah. So, because if they are looking good together, it's not really by randomness. So, they will have some relationship between the both of them. So, what we'll do is do one thing. This blue is there, no?
Yeah.
So, though this will not be the exact blue, but it will be somewhere similar. What we do, no? Find out the hex code of that. You have the hex code, no? Take it.
yeah.
So, go to Google. Go and see complementary color checker. Just go and say complementary color. Yeah, complement. Just go to the color wheel. Yep.
Okay.
So do one thing. Put that blue color over here. Let's see what will happen. Yes. See, the moment you kept that blue, orange came as complementary color.
Okay.
Right. So it's just about basically that's why the point is I was like, why is it matching well? Why is it matching? I know there is to be some relationship, but I didn't know that it is going to be exactly complementary, right? So basically what happens with the complementary color is, if you look at this color wheel over here, right? So if you see, if you basically, as I said, the blue might not be exact color, but if I'm just toggling it a little bit, you see it's around towards that particular orange shade. It's exactly on that straight line on the opposite side.
Yeah. If you draw like a diagonal, they
Yes. Yeah. Right. If you, it's not called diagonal.
diameter. If you die, I'm sorry. Yeah. If you
So basically, this color wheel. So see, in a circle there are 360 degrees, right?
yeah.
Right. In the same way, what happens is, if you mix multiple colors, so there are three primary colors.
Yeah.
Okay. The red, green, and blue. So there is this red over here. There is this green over here. There is blue over here. They are literally at these 120-degree angles.
Okay.
When you mix these colors, basically other colors come.
Yeah.
So if you put them in a circle, so each color, just imagine a circle you can split it into 360 degrees, right?
Yeah.
So each color can be represented by one of the degrees notation. In fact, if you go back to Figma, okay, so this particular blue color is there here, right? So this blue, so this is the hex code we generally see.
Yes.
If you go here and change the particular mode, from hex to, let us say this HSB or HSL, if you let's say you'll take HSB, there is this thing, it's called a hue. This hue right now it's called 206.
Yeah.
Right? There is nothing but the angle actually. You know what? Because at 0 angle there is red. Okay? That means if I go back to the color wheel, if I start the angle from here, this is exactly 0. Okay. Let's see if there is a way to change the color code. It's not there over here, but this is 0, right? And if we are going towards this particular orange, look at what is the angle. It's around 20 degrees.
Yeah.
Right?
As orange is nearer to red.
20, right? Now, what is the opposite of 180 degrees, right?
Yes.
So, all I have to do is, if I have to create a complementary color, I just made a copy of replica of this, right?
Plus 180.
All I have to do is 122 plus
180.
180, that will become 202. See, we got a blue, right? Very similar blue. All, as I said again, it might not exactly match here because we don't know the exact color code which is used over here. But yes, we are almost there basically, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's somewhere around here. So it is 209. So this orange will be somewhere 209 minus 180. That is 29, around 30. So that's where it will be. So basically what's happening is they are literally in a proper pure complementary relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. So and basically the thing is, if colors have to look good together, okay, they need to be in any one of these relationships. There are multiple relationships here. That 180 degrees whatever you saw is actually called as a complementary relationship, right? Because it's exactly complementing the other color, right? Now there are other relationships. If you see here, there is something called as a monochromatic relationship, analogous, triadic, tetradic. Okay, if you just click on it, you will understand the monochromatic is just like it's a single color. Basically, it's all about the next color is basically taking another particular shade in that particular thing. Okay, so that's monochromatic. Okay, analogous is basically about other colors which are I think I don't know the angle exactly. The angle will be represented somewhere in analogous colors. Okay, but this angle, okay, they are basically I think around 30 to 30 degrees around the main color. So that is an analogous relationship. Okay, and then triadic, most people know that's like a triangle. So basically RGB is the original, you can say the triadic, it's red, blue and green, right? So these are exactly in this 120 degree. It's called triadic relationship. And tetradic is basically the same thing but a square. Right? They're exactly like in a 90 degrees square. In this way, whatever mathematical relationship you give, there is something called a split complementary as well. Right? So whatever mathematical relationship you give, base is that you can go and define a relationship with one color with another color, and through that you can derive multiple matching colors. Okay. So that's the concept over here.
So if I say, for example, in our tradition, like red and yellow are the basic, like they goes really well. So can we see like how those are like? I'm just thinking of something.
If red and yellow go very well, so red is around here, yellow is somewhere around here, isn't it?
Yes.
So I'm thinking they will be in somewhat in an analogous relationship. Right? There is red and yellow over here. For yellow, I think red is also coming as analogous color. Okay, so that's one thing.
I'm just thinking like in nature, like how are these colors, and I'm just thinking like
correct. Of course, see, red and yellow are also together because they are called warm colors in nature. Okay, they are warm colors, and the blues and greens are actually called as cool colors. Okay, that's why red and yellow go and all the stuff, because they are also on the it's basically at the higher end of the spectrum as well, right? So towards, if you consider the VIBGYOR, right, to violet to red, right? So red is on the higher end of the spectrum, and the I think the wavelength is as the red is the lowest wavelength, isn't it?
Red has the highest wavelength.
Red has the highest wavelength.
700.
Red has the highest wavelength, and violet has the lowest wavelength, 400. Right? And therefore bluish shades spread a lot, and red spreads much lower, but red travels longer. That's why when sun rises and sun sets, because basically we are in a very it's really far, because red travels more, we see them in the more reddish color. But since blue spreads more, that's why the sky is in blue color. Right? So that's like so beautiful basically, right? Anyway, so but if you really get into color and if you think about nature, there is so much. In fact, the color relationships, what is magical is what is very beautiful in nature out there, coming and becoming and sitting some in a mathematical relationship.
Yes.
That's the beauty, right?
I'm just thinking about those things, like how can we fit?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of what are all the colors that looks good.
Yeah,
Can we
yeah.
have like a relation between
Absolutely,
it? If you
there'll
can
be-
think about it.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you really think about it, there'll be some relationship
Yes.
in terms of defining any of these color combinations, basically any of these color harmony, basically, right? Now, but one thing is, coming back to complementary color relationship, the complementary is like mostly it is like, if you are really looking for something which complements the other color, complementary color is like, it's literally called a complementary color, right? See, complementary color, you might ask me, how does it, work very well, let us say in UI, right? So let us say on any of those screens, generally what happens is, let us say your brand color is like, let us say blue or orange, for example. Let's say your orange is your brand color. Now what they do is, sometimes when you define your branding, especially when in your design system, what you do is, complementary color is one of the most obvious choices for your secondary color.
Okay.
In fact, for actions, so if you look at orange and blue, okay, let us say my brand color is orange. Now on orange, writing white text is difficult, right?
Yes.
It won't be visible.
yeah.
In fact, to check that, we have this thing called accessibility. It's called as A11Y. A11Y means accessibility check. It's a shortcut for accessibility.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you go for accessibility check, okay, so what you can do is, it's called as WCAG complaints, that like World Web Content Accessibility Guidelines.
Okay.
Is WCAG guidelines, right? Now what happens is, WCAG,
Check.
there are also plugins in Figma. Instead of that, we can do, let me show that to you on Figma itself, right? So see, let us say this orange is there. Now I want to write some text. Okay. Okay. India. So this one, maybe on print it might work, right? In print it might work a little bit, but obviously the contrast is not very great. But let us see, if I want to write it on a blue, this was much better,
yeah.
right? Because blue has slightly, with white it has higher contrast.
Okay.
Right? So basically, to check this, there is also this thing called accessibility, A11Y, right? What you can do is, you can probably turn them into frames. Okay, and there are these plugins. You can go to a A11Y, you can go to a plugin, color contrast checker. Okay, so if I select this particular frame, click on check, see, it is failing. On orange, there is this white text which is failing over here, right? But if I go and check this blue, reset, done, check. Oh, it's failing here also. No, wait. It's also to do with the the darkness of the particular color as well. Yes, with this blue, definitely it is failing. So what we will do is, we'll decrease the background lightness, and as we decrease the lightness, the text is becoming more and more visible. Also, it depends on the size of the text as well. So again, because this, it's not just about contrast ratio check as well. If you look at it, if you just purely look at the contrast ratio, this is 3.7. Okay. Now, if you look at this, the contrast ratio is 2.1. So contrast ratio is much less. In fact, if you decrease this background lightness also, contrast ratio will keep increasing. And at one particular contrast ratio, you will have it pretty much, there will be enough contrast basically, right? So it's about having that contrast ratio. But anyway, now the point is, writing white on orange is generally something which is very difficult. You have to have a very darkish kind of an orange to have a proper contrast. Like even with, see, at 4.7 or 8, I am having A, right? Let us say for blue, let us check. Of course, same contrast ratio, but it is easily achievable even without going very dark.
It almost become like a brown rather than orange.
Yeah, there it became almost like you are crossing that 5. I think at around 5 A is getting checked, but here for that to cross that particular 5, it's becoming very dark,
Yes.
right? So the point is, anyway, coming back to the concept, what happens is, in general, so let us say your primary, the brand color is, let us say, orange. What they do is, for buttons and all, they generally pick a secondary color, which is a complementary color, which is blue.
Acha.
So a complementary color can have a contrast and a better contrast
Yeah.
than your primary or brand color, basically. So in this, or you can use any other relationship, but generally the complementary color makes absolute sense in going and using, especially for making your primary CTAs and stuff like that. Or let us say you want to have the bottom nav, or especially the buttons or stuff like that. These things can obviously take this complementary color, right? So yeah, this much UX is there behind that behind that Indian jersey, right? So yeah, man, I mean, there is no way you can make me controversial anything. No, I can save myself from any controversies.
But one controversy I can bring you in.
Okay, now itself, now also. Now what is that? Okay.
I couldn't watch the match. India-Pakistan match, you made me listen to all this, and I missed almost all of the match.
Hey, UX is more interesting. Hey.
It is interesting.
No. Yeah.